committee meeting. Let's start by the notice of presence of a quorum.
Kurt Waninger,
Here.
Patrick Tam.
Here.
John Dart. Here. We have a quorum.
Second item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the June 23rd, 2025 meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I have a motion to approve the minutes for the June 23rd, 2025 meeting.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the presentation by Gravity.
All right, well, thanks for having having us here today. I'm Megan Gagno and I'm from Gravity, and with me I have Mike Metzen. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, Mike Madsen. I'm acting CRO of Gravity. I am also founder of a local project here for asset management and budget optimization software. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, and I'll take less than 20 minutes is the time that I've been given. We'll try to finish earlier than that, quicker than that. But I've been working with Marla actually, and she's been educating me on the city's goals in terms of like financial reporting and financial transparency, and a whole bunch of stuff on where you guys want to take that, and some challenges that she's had in reporting given the software that we have today at the city. So I'll just kind of run through. Let's see here.
Scroll down.
Where am I going to the point?
think
Oh,
it's
scroll.
PDF.
Oh, got it. Oh, got it. Okay, thank you. Perfect. So we'll just kind of go through quickly, just kind of a background on everything that Marla has taught me to date, an introduction to Gravity, what we do, and who we work for, who we're helping, and then talk about a partnership plan. If you guys want to have continued conversations, and what does that look like? That'll be kind of just the end of our conversation today of what's the outcome here of this. So, oh, it's backwards. So this is what, a little bit of background here that matters to our discussion today, right? So Westfield is among the top 3 fastest growing cities in the state. You guys have plans for lots more development, right? And with that also is you're transitioning from a tier 3 to a tier 2 city. And Marla is helping to create a succession plan, right? Preparing for that change to happen. And part of that plan is to make sure that institutional knowledge doesn't get trapped in people's heads and leaves when we are making shuffles around of people, but also to help enable them to be more efficient and more responsible with taxpayer dollars. And part of that is also is not just software to help with efficiencies, right? But it's also financial transparency then to prove, here, this is what we're doing with taxpayer dollars and other funds. And so I mentioned already that we're talking about growth for the city in terms of the mayor's plan, and the fact that he wanted to do an ACFR, right, an annual comprehensive financial report, and that is in part because we need to prove that we are being financially responsible, right, and borrow money and for support these growth plans. Any questions so far? Okay.
And I hope I have accurately articulated the plans. So if there's anything you need to add, please let
Yes.
Megan know.
Yes, absolutely.
I guess one of the questions would be, have you been consulting with anybody else on this, or?
Well, Kelly and I had spoken about Gravity because of our familiarity with it with Jeffersonville, and of course I also know the clerk treasurer there. Well, she's a controller now, but and so that's kind of what prompted the meeting with Gravity in the first place.
Thanks.
Yeah, and that's a great question too. I think today is our initial conversation with the larger group, right? So curious for your thoughts, and if you would like to participate in the conversation, I welcome that. Yeah. And so just kind of as I mentioned before, we wanted to do an ACFR, right? Marla just went through that this last year, preparing and finishing the FY23 ACFR statement. And we know this working at Gravity because we're helping lots of customers to do the same, but we know that it is tedious work. It's very labor intensive. A lot of it can be automated. A lot of it is not currently automated with most ERP systems that are being used today, because ERP systems are meant to do the accounting, but they're not real great at getting the data out and reporting it in the manner that you guys need to report on it. So that's why Gravity is in business, and we integrate with the accounting system. In this case, it would be Serenic Navigator to pull that data into Gravity and help you to prepare a GFOA compliant ACFR document, right? And then help with the audit to streamline that process as well. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. We're trying to eliminate all of the manual, tedious, time-consuming work that's currently done in spreadsheets and Word documents that technology today takes care of for you so that you can really move on about your day with responsibilities more than just that, the administrative functions, right? Keep going backwards. So how does gravity come into play on that? Well, we can help with both of these things. So ACFR is going to, our automation solution is going to help you to produce this document from end to end, right? We pull in the data, we do all of the automatic workflow, calculations, rounding, collaboration with your auditor, data mapping, finding new accounts year over year automatically. So we're taking away all of that manual labor for you and helping you to create that statement. And it's also risk compliance to it. It's also knowing that your data is accurate, it's been calculated correctly, so that when you do go through the audit, everything is there and done appropriately, and there's not revisions afterwards, because we trust the data, right? And according to the rules that we've set up. On the other side of this here, the piece of it that we're talking about for financial transparency, this is an opportunity for the city to communicate better, both internally and externally, about the status of, finance and budget data. And so that can be really monthly appropriations reports, right? We can put that on a transparency portal. We can talk about just like the budget document as well as any other kind of high priority items that you would like to communicate to the public. And I have an example here, if we wanted to take a real quick look at what that transparency portal looks like of a current customer. Does anybody have interest in me just showing that really quick? Okay, perfect. So I'll click on that. So this is, oops. What?
Scroll down.
It's Chris. It's all
Just
Chris.
C2.
Controls are working.
No, we are
Controls are
blocking
working,
it.
thank you.
No, it's not actually.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's our firewall blocking it because it's not secure.
Do we know why?
Go there.
She can,
I could try.
if you wanna
Megan, you
try.
wanna try and go directly there instead of using the link?
Yeah, that might be, okay, let's see here. Would it be rochesterhills.gov maybe? I'll just search for it.
You can copy and paste it from the other tab.
Do you think that would not
Yeah,
work though?
It should work.
Okay. Let's see, that's, I don't know, I've never tried that, I guess. That's not gonna work, I don't think. Well,
That
I'll
dot
try it once.
That dot report page doesn't have a certificate, so our system's designed to
Block that, yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I should, not sure where they have it on their page. I should have looked at that. Maybe right here. Do you know? Sorry.
Forget where.
Okay. Well, now if I were to send you that link in an email, though, would it be the same issue? You wouldn't be able to access it?
same issue.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So if you go down to the drop down where it said financial reports.
Well, they don't have it easily linked on their website either, huh? Not sure. Cause these are just PDFs, it looks like. Well, sorry, you guys, that didn't work out according to plan. I don't know where they have it linked. Well, maybe I can send you screenshots of what it looks like after the
Okay,
fact here.
okay.
We'll figure that out. I don't know. Is that something, the security certificate? Okay. Okay, well, we'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in it, but what it's supposed to look like is interactive dashboards and any sort of PDF documents that you wanna put online, like the annual comprehensive report, like the budget document. And you can drill down into those charts and graphs to whatever level of data you guys want to display, so there's some flexibility there. Let's see here. Okay. That was a little detour. Okay, so that's what we're talking about with Gravity, the solutions that we offer. Now, we do also offer some other solutions, and we'll get to that in a second here, but there are some considerations here for when you're looking at a vendor to help with this transition, that there's room to grow as well, right? A strategic long-term partnership. And we don't have to do everything by any means right off the bat. So what we're talking about for Westfield is really software and a partner who's going to help you to automate tasks, who's going to help you with the transition, the succession plan, right, over the next few years of really using the contract that you have, the consulting services with Baker Tilly now for the next year, right? While we get you on some software to help streamline the process of developing those financial reports, specifically the ACFR, and specifically getting data out onto a transparency portal. And then the idea is kind of wean off of the consulting services needed after that, right? We become less dependent on them because now we have automation. And partnering with Gravity is one of the benefits here is that we have customer success. So really it's more than support. You are given a dedicated success manager that you can come to anytime you need help, anytime you need to understand training for maybe a new feature. We'll have documentation, we'll have other customers that you can talk to. So that's really kind of the long-term strategic partnership that we're talking about here.
Does it allow an individual to build their own reports based on the data and information that's there, or are they all canned reports that come in a package or are structured based on what the community wants?
Good question. So that is to be scoped out prior to the implementation. We would want to understand exactly what reports you would want, and then we build them out for you. So it's not really, I wouldn't think of it as like an ad hoc reporting tool where you could do anything, but it's more of like we help you to structure the reports that you need to put out on a regular basis. And these are the things like a monthly report, like the annual reports, quarterly special reports, something that's structured the same with the same kind of templatized output, but the data changes. And what we're doing is we're linking up the data to Gravity so that when the data does change, the report output is a click of a button. So I would think of it as more of that publication piece that you're getting out of it. So not multiple versions of Word documents and collaboration struggles and that kind of stuff. Does that answer your question? Okay. So then transitioning into, oh, sorry.
I've got a question, this is John.
Yes.
So is this a bolt-on product to an existing ERP system? Or is this a separate software package that needs to be implemented? I mean, help me understand that. I guess the question goes back to Chris as well.
Yes, so it is not an ERP system, it is complementary to the ERP system, and it will be integrated to it to pull data from the ERP system into Gravity so that you can get the data out of your ERP system in a reportable fashion. Does that answer your
You
question?
can look at it as a bolt-on.
Okay.
What was the question?
I said you could look at it as a bolt-on. It does overlay the top of the ERP.
Okay, yeah, that answers it.
Okay, perfect. And I'll try to pick up the pace here. I know that I'm see the time. But yeah, so who is Gravity? So we are a company, we're 10 years old. We have over 230 customers across 40 different states now. We cater only to local government, so we know what you guys need to do day in and day out, and we even have CPAs, accountants on our staff, so we understand your needs. And our solution is a cloud software solution to answer part of that question there too. And we offer business intelligence, and what that means is really automating a lot of the things that we can automate for you that you don't have to do manually anymore.
So since this is a bolt-on and it's a web-based program or a cloud-based system, could others that are given permission to have access to it have it without being in the city building?
If that's how you'd like them to access it, we do have two-factor authentication and we can map into
Yeah.
whatever Active Directory or how you guys manage your security. So that is an option on how loose or controlled you want the access to be.
I saw that over the weekend on Unigov or the one email from one of the clerk treasurers.
I did not.
One of her counselors wants access to it, but he doesn't wanna have to come to the building.
Oh,
I did see
sure.
that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
and
fine.
because
I was like,
we're
that sounds
currently
familiar.
operating on-prem, that you don't, there wouldn't be a problem, and it actually could create an access that they don't have currently.
Correct,
By
yeah.
default, we are accessible from anywhere.
Mhm.
You can lock that down if you'd like to.
Yes, they could see it.
When I was with Baker Tilly, one of my clients had used Gravity and we never had to go to their location. They gave us access and we could go in and pull Gravity up and actually do journal entries, and it was when we were helping build out their ACFR.
Is that something you'd be able to provide us as a list of clients you have here in Indiana?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Looks like you got Jeffersonville.
Yep.
Which we talked about earlier, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Few others.
You do have other Indiana clients beyond Jeffersonville,
I
or?
think it's just Jefferson at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there were, what'd you say, 230 across 40
Mhm.
states.
Yes.
Megan and I had kind of looked at like some of the, definitely
Comparable.
compared to Westfield by size and budget, and then some that were enormous.
Yeah, so we scale all the way up. I think maybe Placer County was one that I just mentioned of like they're 1.2 billion, but they're also like city and county of Denver at like 4 billion budget size, so yeah.
Where's your
All
corporate
different-
headquarters at?
Toronto and Miami.
Yeah.
you probably worked with some of my family members, by the way.
In
So you got
Toronto or
Rock-
Miami?
No, Rochester Hills, Tampa Bay Water,
Oh,
Yep.
Brentwood, yeah,
nice.
yeah. Do you do anything in Seattle?
Not in Seattle, no,
Okay,
not yet.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is a really just our ecosystem, our solution offerings, and I put this in here so that you guys can see the whole picture here. Right now, we're talking about financial disclosure reporting and financial transparency. So the one up here at the top, the ACFR, as well as transparency. But as you can see, there's room to grow, so that in case there are other needs down the road, you wouldn't have to necessarily go to another vendor for that.
When did you do Columbus, Ohio?
Was that in the last?
So Columbus, Ohio's been a customer for a few years.
Do you remember who the mayor was back when you guys first started working on it? Was it Coleman?
I don't recall.
Okay.
They're a design partner with us, Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah, so they kind of push the needle in the direction of the product. We work at their controller's office.
I know former Mayor Coleman, that's why I asked, so.
This is just an image here to help you understand how the solution works. If you guys have questions, I'm happy to go over it, but I'll just kind of breeze over that for right now. Here's, I think we're getting into some of the customer questions right now. Just as a snapshot of some of them, I pulled the, Jeffersonville logo is right there. A number of others in the Midwest. This is the area that I cover. So like McHenry County in Illinois, Sauk County, Wisconsin, they're all using Gravity for different solutions. There's Rochester Hills. So we some budgeting customers, we have some Act for financial disclosure customers, but it's really across the board in terms of size of client that we help. To give you an idea there, and what our customers are saying here is, you know, they're spending 85% less time on reporting activities, and that is a huge time savings for them. And you think about kind of the return on investment of that, right? And I have kind of a discussion slide later for what that looks like for Westfield, but this is something that is going to help with the transition, not only that, but also saving you guys time and being able to allocate it elsewhere. And here, I think this is what Marla was talking about, kind of comparable accounts here for some of the same solutions and then budgeting as well. But as you can see, there's a snapshot of some of the people that we've been working with recently. Okay, so this is an estimate here on what it might look like cost-wise on an annual basis for Westfield to partner with us on both automating the annual comprehensive financial report as well as putting out financial transparency to the public. And you can see here we also did monthly reports included on that transparency site. And this also includes data integration to Serenic Navigator and ADA compliance of the reports themselves. As you guys know, that deadline is coming up soon. We also have, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't see maybe the entire slide here, but this is the subscription cost, and how many licenses are part of this subscription?
So we would, as part of scoping, look at it as unlimited. We would just put how many do you believe would need access to it, and we would just say up to as many as you would need.
Would that be full access as far as users that can manipulate the data or just those that are view only?
Yeah, you have the ability to have full access for all those. Obviously, you wouldn't want that. But all of the kind of setup is part, and the scoping is, you know, to understand the permissioning of who you'd want access to do what at the city.
And that could also include your auditor.
This is the annual fee, but what's approximately what is the implementation fee?
Good question. That is the next slide. So there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. So that's about what we're looking at to implement. Now, granted, if we get into, you know, scoping conversations and we want to change the scope of this at all, this number could also change. But this is what we're estimating right now as a, you know, what to get started with in terms of the ACFR and the financial transparency site. And that would be the one-time fee to set it up. Annually would just be the number on the 45K on the previous slide, ongoing.
Does this integrate at the SQL level?
It can.
Or is it with Serenic Nav, is there another connector as you go through the APIs that they use?
Depends.
It could be either. How would you wanna do it from an IT perspective?
I don't know which one will get you the most detail. We haven't used the APIs before, so I'm not sure if that's gonna get used not as much information.
So we
Sure.
probably should spend some time to understand what you can do with your ERP, and we can figure out the best interface path.
Offer a few different options there. There's also the option to just manually upload a
Drag and
CSV.
drop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Which actually quite a few folks prefer sometimes, just because they can pull an XLS out of their ERP pretty well and just drop it into upload it into Gravity.
questions? So this is kind of, you know, as you guys get into talking about value and what you are going to get out of it now and in the long term, right? So before Gravity, what this looks like is, you know, and you guys are not a unique case by any means. This is for all of the customers that we work with. ACFR prep takes 6 months or longer. And with Gravity, we cut that down to 1 or 2 months post-implementation. It's really a process that can be replicated year after year, and you don't need to do all of that manual work each year again after that. So that's a huge time savings. Marla said that she's got a spreadsheet of 50 plus interlinked Excel spreadsheets or Excel tabs, right, all linked together. There's risk in formulas breaking, there's just a lot to manage, right? And there's different versions of things, and sometimes files get corrupt, and I don't know if that's the case for you, but I'm speaking more generally, right, of what we hear from our customers. And then there's time spent figuring out what those errors are, or, you know, missing an amount here or there to tie things off. So with all of that is what Gravity takes away for you. After Gravity, what does that look like, right? We're talking about prep time reduced from 6 months to 2 or less. You can get in with your auditor quicker. It's much more streamlined. If you want to give them access for collaboration, maybe view only access, right? You can do that too, comment only access. And so this is something that like we're helping you guys to be more self-sufficient so that you don't have to rely on other people's timelines for things because they have other clients too, right? And we're estimating here, this is a rough calculation, right? But if you think about how much money are you going to save annually, we kind of came up with the figure of 105,000 because you take 3 people, I think Marla, you said 3 finance staff who are working this many hours on it at, we'll just say combined rate of $150 an hour. In addition to, there's penalties if you guys decided to do, the ACFR, you don't wanna be late on that because then that has a whole bunch of other implications down the line, right, that could cost money. And then also we can start to talk about, we're paying Baker Tilly right now for ACFR prep services. They may still come in and do some help, but we may not need them for the whole thing anymore, right? And Kelly, you can speak to that too.
No, absolutely. I mean, right now for when you hire a consulting firm to do the ACFR, I mean, it could be anywhere from 500 to 800 hours. And that's outside of, I'm assuming the finance team you're talking about internally.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I worked for Baker Tilly, there were some clients that they prepared their own ACFR and we just did a review. And I mean, it's, a tenth of the cost when you get to that point. So, yeah, I mean, there could be a huge cost savings
Yeah. Thank you
starting
for
to do
that.
it ourselves.
So that's how to sell it internally too, that's the conversation. And I don't wanna take up too much time, I know we're over here, but I do have other slides in this deck, you guys have access to it, you guys feel free to browse. I can get you any other information that you'd like. I kind of put up here, our marketing department is doing customer case studies and getting more and more on our website now, and if that's something that Westfield would be interested in, once you guys come on board with Gravity, that would be something that we could help you spread the word of, how you are partnering with Gravity, but also how you are being mindful of being more efficient and financially transparent to the public and being responsible with taxpayer dollars. So that's kind of the vision we're presenting here today.
Appreciate you guys coming in and doing a presentation on this, so yeah, if you can follow it up with an email for that link that we can go look at the
Yeah.
dashboards as well as contact information if we have any additional questions we can
Perfect.
follow up with you on.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
and I do have at the very last slide, my information there for you.
It's right there.
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity to present that to you guys today, so.
Thanks.
Thanks
I'll
for
give this
coming in
back to you.
person.
It's always
Yeah,
fun,
no,
it's
that's
always
great.
fun presenting on the
you.
fly and something not
Yeah.
working.
I'll give this back to you.
And would you be able to send
It's happening to me all
information
the
just on the
time.
debt module, the
I would
lease and the
have like a
Sabita
backup hard
module?
copy.
Yeah,
Cause do you do the lease and
We'll
Sabita
never get to
calculations?
we do.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that
So
would be.
anything that touches an ACFR, we have applications that
Okay.
can manage all of
I
it,
kinda
so-
left that piece
Okay.
hanging
It's like-
there for you
Yeah.
to address.
Okay.
You're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
no,
it's
that would be
I hate
great.
I'm like, okay. well, you
Capital
just-
assets, yes, thank you.
Just go straight.
Capital
Okay.
assets too.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
I've had that issue happen a couple times in the last 2-3 weeks. I'm like, oh, no one has Zoom conference.
And you guys can stay or go, whichever you decide. We've got just a few more things to go.
Monthly reports, cause you said that's an option, that's something I haven't seen.
I'm gonna send you, we have examples of that as well.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and she sent me actually what you guys do right now.
Okay.
Your appropriations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you again. The next item on the agenda is the June revenue summary. You could pull that up, Chris. I guess for the revenue summary, is there anything that Danielle, from your standpoint, or Kelly, or Marla, from your standpoint, that doesn't look like we're coming in on year-to-date revenue projections based at the half-year mark? Is there anything that really jumped out or stood out with you in regards to that?
To be honest with you, I haven't looked at it. I've been knee deep, neck deep, head deep in golf carts.
I just noticed like MVH, you know, we're at roughly 887,000 for the year. It seems like MVH would be more than 1.6 or 1.7 million at the end of the year. A lot more than that, but.
Revenue has decreased a little bit, from like 24 to 25 at this time. But added together, I think it was about 2%, we're about 2% off pace of last year. But there's some smaller amounts, and some of it could be timing also, which I couldn't really factor in, as successfully as I wanted to. But, the notable ones were, well, we're down from investment income about 25,000. We're down on plan commission fees, very minor, but 7,000. Police reports were down a couple thousand. Building permits, that was significant. It's down 98,000, so that was a big hit. CVET, 6,000. Cigarette tax down almost 5. And then,
That's a good.
right. But you know, then they all, like I said, just all add up together, but there was nothing super notable that I thought was concerning. I think we're doing a really good job.
On page 6, the GP Diamond escrow,
Yes.
could you explain that? Refresh my memory on that one.
I'm gonna have to look at that one.
GPSE escrow account.
No.
I'm gonna have to look at 360 exclusively, but we are now receiving the escrow money from GPSC, but that's going in 640.
If you scroll down.
640.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Okay, there it is. Then right under that, keep going, right there, okay. On the payroll net salaries, that kind of that total category there, how's that revenue versus month to date, year to date, how is that? Why does that show up on the revenue report?
Because for auditing purposes, they want it all separated in through the payroll account.
Okay. So it's in and out,
Yeah.
in and out, okay,
It's a clearing account.
okay. John, Patrick, any other further questions on the revenue summary?
Nothing from me.
Okay. The June fund report, any notables on this one either, Marla, that you wanna point out?
This one, I would say, two noticeable gains were road impact and stormwater. So 600,000 and 300,000 respectively.
I didn't have any other questions regarding the fund report, Patrick or John?
Marlo, could you repeat what you said?
Oh, yes, I said that noticeable gains were in road impact, the road impact fund for $600,000. And again, this is over like last year is what I looked at. And then $300,000 into stormwater.
What about, so talk about the road impact piece, you have a little breakdown on some of the bigger buckets within that 600K?
I did not break it down. I'd be happy to do that in the future if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, if there's something noticeable, like, and I appreciate you bringing that up on those two categories, but you might in the future just say, hey, sizable difference here in revenue. These road impact fees were due to this, and this.
Okay, I can do that for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions on the fund report? If not, we'll move to the June appropriation summary. I mean, there's a few of them that jump out in the, more than 50% of the year, but that makes sense too as well, so. On some of them. And I assume some of them would be moving funds from one fund account to the other.
That's right, yeah. The budget was structured differently in 2025 than it was in 2024. Mostly with that giant transfer line that falls under admin. So really, I think overall, we do, it shows increased appropriations, but different budget structures too. So it can't really be an apples to apples comparison because it was so different.
Okay, any other questions on the June appropriation report?
None from me.
Okay, good. Investments, you already alluded to that a little bit already.
Yeah, I'm really would like your feedback and input. I did attend a conference last week where I took some, I have some information from some of their presentations where I'd just like to send you some slides that, so I can do kind of a one-pager. I don't really know what you guys want it to look like, but I don't wanna give you what you don't want. So for now, that's why I've kind of stuck with doing them verbally. We did have a treasury mature. That was it was a $2.5 million treasury. And it stinks because it was at 4.8, but I reinvested that. Unfortunately, it's down to 3.76. That's gonna be a 2-year treasury.
Yeah, but that's not, I mean, that's a function of market, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, it is,
No
it
one's
is.
done anything.
No, nothing,
Yeah.
nothing's happening
Matter of
different.
fact, you made a lot of money.
Right.
Okay.
It's just,
Yeah, exactly.
it's sad to watch our yield averages go down.
Yeah, but
Right.
still,
I think that's
it's
maybe what I was getting at.
Still been good.
Yeah.
Right.
Month to date, we made like $140,000 in interest for a year to date.
What were you thinking, projecting? Did you have a projection?
We have not budgeted that.
Okay.
In the past, if you guys want a budget, that was kind of one of the questions I had on my list for you. To know, do you have an expectation and what would you do with it if you had the money? So we're on course right now we made about 1.3 million at the end of June in interest income. So I'm hoping that remains true. Our next big maturity was at 5%. We won't be getting those rates anymore. And 30-day yield on our Goldman Sachs account is, it's been holding pretty steady, right around 4.2, maybe 4.18, or as high as 4.22, but it stays real tight right there.
Did you see any changes from first quarter to second quarter of the year with your investments?
Nothing significant. It's held really well. I think we're just in a habit of now reinvesting, but if you guys had a different direction you wanted to go, I'm happy to do that. This conference was specifically, it's called APT USNC, and it's accounting and public treasurers from the United States and Canada, and it was in Chicago, but they concentrate really on investment policy, and I'm going to submit ours. APT will give you kind of a rating or accreditation, so to speak, which I know we could also apply to GFOA down the road.
Yeah.
But I thought I would go that route first. And then they just really concentrate on safety, liquidity, and yield. So, but some excellent presentations.
What are the restrictions on the investments? Is it
So,
like BABA, you can only invest in American, or you go foreign commodities, or?
I don't think you could go, I
I would
I
assume
don't
you
know
don't,
if
I'm
you
assuming
could
you
go
couldn't,
foreign
but-
commodities. I mean,
There's some
you
state laws that Marley's in compliance with,
Yeah.
it just on like
right,
different hostile country, I mean, Asian,
right.
fun people would
Is-
show them to it.
That's
So-
why primarily we're really only invested in treasuries, money market. You could do something like commercial paper, but I have no experience in that realm at all. And then because our ordinance holds me to a 2-year investment. Because, you know, the forecast is we could take between 1 and 3 rate cuts this year. You wouldn't wanna speculate out too far past 3 years, no matter what. And so, in trying to keep that, I'm just not rocking the boat by keeping those 2-year investments. And the yields on 3 years are no better than they are on 2, so, and 1 is actually better right now. But I wanna keep our investments laddered out and then have to balance that with the liquidity of what we need to, you know, commit to our operations. But I'm very excited to submit that report to them after, and then if there are any revisions that they see necessary, I'll bring them to you guys and we can talk about what that might look like.
As we sit here, the S&P's down. John, any other questions on CP investments, or Patrick?
No, I'm good.
Okay. We'll move on to city administration comments, the 2026 budget. I was hoping you were gonna say you were up in the weeds with
I was that too.
budget.
I was doing that. I was doing both actually until wee hours in the morning. Everything is on track as far as our budget timeline. All the directors will be submitting their final draft budget to me. We've already met with Scott with all of them, exception for Mr. Larson because he was out last week. So with all those changes they're making right now and getting those, and so I'll be getting those to Ben Coonrod, not Ben Coonrod, but Coonrod, so that they could get the fiscal plan updated for us for when we meet with you guys starting next week.
Yeah, I saw the public on the schedule. Okay, sounds good. Any other questions for the clerk treasurer or city administration, John or Patrick?
No.
Clerk treasurer, anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Any council comments, John,
No council comments.
Patrick?
Nope, we're good.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Thank you for following my motion to adjourn process. Just get the motion in.